Hey, how you guys doing? All right, let's do this thing. Okay, this should be an easy victory. We just gotta start working hard. Just pound away. Game over. Okay. Nah, I appreciate his generosity, but nah, I appreciate that. Ooh, so he wants to play. So now we gotta work on our imbalance. I have more development than he does, so let's see if we can get some spatial increase. Just a second, I'll see what that is. Hmm. Let's see, what do we want to do here? I'm trying to decide, do I want to play here? He's got that. I'm gonna play here. I have to sacrifice that for right now. Let's see about this. He's up 2 pawns, but remember, it's all about the attack, so. And I have more attacking pieces. Let's see if he plays there. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I have to keep an eye. I'm trying to infiltrate in. See what I can do here. I think I got a piece here, if I'm not mistaken. Hmm. Hmm. Should be able to win this. Hmm. Let's see if we can. Drat, that was a mistake. Darn it. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this here. Drat it, I moved my king wrong. I moved my king incorrectly. One second, here we go. Okay, I should have played right in here. That would have locked down the structure. Gotcha. Okay. We'll give it a shot. And potentially it's going to go here, so gotta be ready. And I'm ready to play there if that's the case, yeah. So I have to, actually I gotta retreat back now that I think about it, because he's gonna have to take there, I'll take there, and then bring rook. Yeah. I want to keep the position closed if I can. Don't want to open it up if I don't have to. I'm going to play right there, and potentially I could play back. Yeah, he's going to try to double up the attack there, so... Oh boy, I don't like this one bit. Let's see here. I'll just double up here, and then I can get my queen involved. Ooh, that's a good move too, because he would have played here. Yikes. So I have to actually play here to stop that. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. But I gotta tell you, we're fine. I now prevented that from coming in. So I could have probably played here, but I didn't really want to wreck the structure. Interesting. So now I'm kind of stuck. I have to actually have to play here to keep control of this pawn. Yeah, he's did an Alekhine gun, but it's fine. Let's see here. I don't want to give him a passer, but ay, ay, ay. only I could get here, that'd be lovely. But I need to play rook there first if I'm to do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Just move my king over. Yeah, I'm gonna take there. And in we come. Let's see if I can infiltrate in. Do I want to grab that? Better grab it so I can have some pass pawn. Oops. I thank you for the offer, but we're actually going to go to puzzles. Thank you for the offer, though. Yeah. Okay, we'll go into puzzles now. Alright. Boy, that was intense. Okay. Let's see here. What makes a bad pawn structure? Well, I actually, if you want to think about it, what makes a bad pawn structure is a weak backward pawn. It's actually where your base pawn is. Like if the base pawn was here and you had a structure of pawns like this, I've actually seen that. Excuse me. I've actually seen that before. When the base pawn is here, the base pawn is where the weakest part of the structure of your pawn chain is. So if you can undermine the base pawn here, the new base pawn is there, and then slowly, slowly you start gobbling up the pawns like Pac-Man. Excuse me. Had a sneeze there. That's strange. Yeah, I was happy if I was to get a draw. I was just like, I remember that you can actually hold a structure. I created a fortress, so it would have been interesting. He would not have had really time to do it. You have to stay. If the pawn's here, you have to kind of stay around. Let's see, A8, Queen to. Okay, let me see here. Let's focus down here, and we'll get some right on answers here. We'll get some good answers. Let me see here. I'm actually liking Queen F. Queen F5 because potential checkmate. It's the most active square for our queen too. It puts the most pressure if we want to think about it. Yeah, you know what? He's a great player. You should learn from all games. You know, some players play more like people like sometimes I play a lot like what Fox said, Petrosian, which is he knows how to make a fortress like there's no tomorrow and hold a position. Sometimes I play like Nakamura. It all depends on how I feel. D4. You have those days that do you feel like a Gary Kasparov? Do you feel like a Nakamura? Do you feel like an Anon? You know what? It's all in how you play. I like how I think it was Yazzer and Jennifer said that there's so much now like databases out there. One person called in and asked, "What does Magnus play like? What does Caruana play like?" They're all balanced players because of the engines now that they have the databases. Before we had to they had to be very selective with what games they were going to look at because they didn't have like I got a puzzle in like less than a second, close to a second, and they didn't have that. They had to go through a book and set it up on a board. So that you can go over hundreds and hundreds of games in a day, and they only had maybe 10, 20 games a day. So you had to pick who you were most like, and that's who you played like, basically. So it all depends on what your style is. Sometimes I have a Yazzer moment. I become a pawn grubber kind of thing, and I'm like I want to hold a pawn and try to hold it as much as I can. And sometimes that interferes with your opponent's plan making, and they may make a mistake because they're so worried about getting that extra pawn back. So it all depends. If you know who your opponent is, kind of their style, you can tell if losing a pawn bothers them or not. Which we did a game yesterday night or last night on I think it was one of the players actually sacrificed a queen, but 10 moves later he got a rook and a queen. So you sometimes have to give up something to get a lot. And in that case, the player got a basically a rook, but it looked like he was down material, but in reality he had it all planned out. So it goes back to the transformers. There's more than meets the eye. More than meets the eye. Let's see here. I'm trying to find out. Let's see. So D4 is an interesting move, but there's just too many pieces attacking D4. That's the only sitch. I like that idea because it's really aggressive. You want to put a rook on C3, but this is our sweet our our interest, or as they want to call it. This is our advantage right here. We have a passer, and we want to make our opponent have to work hard and painfully for that. Ooh, that's an interesting idea too. C5 is interesting. I think I see what you're saying, because that does handle a lot of the situations, but the only problem is queen to C4, and then when we trade, sorry, queen C4, he has a blocking move that he can play, and we really don't have anything at that moment. But I like your idea. I think I like it, but we'd have to trade off queens, and at this moment I guess we could trade off queens, but I don't know if that's what the tactic yeah, I don't know if that's what the tactic actually allotted us to do. Oh, my bad. Sorry. You're right. That does work. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That is correct. I don't know what I was thinking. I kind of forgot this was here. But yeah, that does work. So I believe you're right. Queen C5 potentially is more likely the best, because it does this is an okay move, but it allows that when we play queen, I mean knight to, if we did queen F5, knight to D4 would actually be winning here. Not really, now that I think about it. Well, let me see. Why give up our bishop for anything? If we'd had to play here, he'd play there, then we'd have to take. And I don't think we'd have enough material to checkmate our opponent, because we'd have to play there. Potentially, we may have enough material, but I doubt it, because we can actually block there. It's interesting. Yeah, I believe you're 100% knight d4 saves it. But if we play queen c5, it guards knight d4, so that if we play queen d5, knight d4, we now have bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes d4. The knight can't guard the spot anymore. But there's only one sitch. Can he actually play b4 though? I don't think so. I think b4 actually loses to queen to c3. Now that I think about it, queen c3 actually is the final blow, because then you have a fork here and there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm yeah, actually b4 you'd actually after here if he played b4 you have first have check. You can't play c2 yet because the queen guards c2, but you can play there, and then at this point when he moves you snap off that that knight, and now you've won a whole piece. So I'd say that queen c5, if I was to do a move, I believe queen c5 is actually strongest. It does so much for us. Do you see how that works? Because if he plays here, we have there, and if he moves back, I guess no, we could actually no, we can't play there, can we? Drat, 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 drat. Trying to see if that. Let's see here. If he plays there. Wait, we have mate there. What am I talking about? We got mate on. That's silly. That's silly of me. We have mate on C1, because that's the style mate that you love. Yeah. Yep. What do you guys think? I'm going. My decision would be that if it was. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, sorry, C1. No, it doesn't guard C1 after that because the knight's blocked there. After here, the knight blocks the bishop because the knight here would be actually there, and we could play C1. Yeah, I like that. There we go. Nice find there. Good job. Good find. That was nice. Nice. You gotta love it when a plan comes together. Let's see here. Wow, he's got a 4. He's got everything guarding this bishop. So if we somehow could get our knight to attack. Oh no, our knight is attacking the bishop. Maybe if we make an Alekhine gun here, we can actually take the bishop. I think the queen might be trapped here. I think maybe b4 is an idea. Because well, then he has a4. Well, then we have enough defenders to actually win this. Yeah, we can win a p. No, that it would be attacking our rook. So drat. Let's see there. What is it there? Oh, we do have a check, don't we? Yeah, we do have a check at that point. Yeah, I like it. Knight. Let's see, knight takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes. But let's say that rook take, knight takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes. I think queen would take. Yeah. So I'm thinking that if I'm not mistaken, b4, because then that draws the queen away from the protection of e5, and then we'd be able to actually win a piece at that point. We could he'd play queen b4, rook takes, knight takes, and potentially that's really the only drawback I see, is that I think because the queen's so almost trapped. Rook takes e4. How does that work? b4 is met with rook e3. Oh, bishop e3. Bishop d3, you mean. Queen could take at that point. But I still think we win a material at this point. If he takes there, we still win material. Potentially we could actually go rook and then slide over, but I don't know. He may have enough time. Maybe rook up and over. Knight d2. I think that might be too slow though. That's the only thing I'm thinking. It might be a little slow because he might potentially have b5, because if we play here, b5 stops the infiltration point for our knight. So I'm thinking it has something to do with a pawn push to drive the queen. Reminds me of an old time move sequence where the whole idea was to draw the king away so that you can backbreak mate him. I forgot which player played that. I studied that recently, so I'm not exactly sure which one. It was a really, really cool one. He left his queen on pre for like 5 to 7 moves. And the final blow was a4. Let's see here. I don't think that. Let me see. Knight there. Bishop could actually play here at that point. Bishop could play d4. True. Well, knight g there. I don't know if we really get anything on that one. That's a good good try on that one, because that's not a bad idea. Excuse me, but I'm not sure if we really get anything on that. Let me see here. I think he could actually, at this point, maybe he could play there. Well, then he could take there. It takes. Queen takes. Rook takes. That attacks the queen. Then there's a check. I think our idea of the queen trap is gone at that point. This makes sense. This makes all the sense, because it guards here and attacks the queen, so it makes the queen have to move to b4. And at that point, we have a huge attack with rook takes, knight takes, and we potentially could actually win. Queen h4. Our queen can't go to h4. It can only go to h5. Queen trap line. I don't think we're a queen trap line. We're trying to pull the queen away. See, that's the whole goal. Is in this situation, he has 3 defenders and we have 3 attackers, so we're equal. And if we can pull one of the defenders away, which would be the queen, if we could pull it away for a pawn, we then could play knight, our rook takes, and be winning at that point. Or maybe even potentially we can play there, but I don't think that's a good idea. We play it actually right away. That's the first move in the sequence, because we're wanting to pull the queen away from the defense of the bishop. See, there's one defender, two defenders, and three defenders. We have one attacker, two attackers, three attackers. Yeah. And at that point, we actually win a piece because we'll have more attackers than defenders. B4 is the most critical line because the queen has to take. So what do you guys think? I believe that'd be my choice. Because the queen would actually it has to go, because otherwise it would be trapped. It only has really two spots that it can go to. Takes or moves, and if it does that, it leaves the protection of this bishop. There'd only be two at that point. Two protectors versus three attackers. What do you guys think? Do you think we should go for it? I don't really see any other line that makes any more sense. Let's give her a shot. Okay, now we have to decide which piece we want to take with. Because this is an interesting one here. Let me see. If we take with the rook, yeah, even if back here, if the queen did play there, you could always just push up your rook, and it's protected at that point. And then if then there's no check, nothing, and it's all go for us again. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I'm trying to see what do we want to play here. Yeah, we're in Zugzwang position at this point. Trying to see what do we want. If we play rook takes bishop on e5, rotates bishop on e5. I don't think we don't really want to play knight takes because then the queen does. Or does the queen actually have an attack? No. Well, no, it doesn't have an attack. Maybe there. If we played knight takes, there's queen e7. See, rook takes bishop. Rook takes, knight takes, queen g e7. Drat. Okay, let's see. I don't know if takes is right at this moment. Let me see, because then he's got there. So maybe knight takes, and then we have a triple attack, but it could be defended with h f4. And if he attacks, maybe that is it. let's see, takes, knight takes. We do at this point have rook to e1, and then I think we're fine. I think we're still fine even after rook takes, knight. No, let me see. Okay, knight takes, queen there, and then we can double up our rooks. If he plays here, we always have knight g4 protecting the rook as well. And then if takes, queen takes, knight takes. Because I don't see enough compensation for it. There, and then I don't think we have enough at that point, because then the pin is for real. It's on our queen at that point. If we take here, and here, the pin is on our queen. So we don't have enough compensation for the rook takes. Knight takes is the only one that gives us enough compensation to go g4 if he plays here. Yeah, knight takes. Because the reason, I'll show you guys why. If we played rook takes, he'd play rook takes, and then after knight takes, queen. Oh, queen attacks there. Interesting. Okay, then it'd be a draw. Hey, good thing we chose the right one, huh? Yeah. Not good at all. Nice job, guys. We're doing this. Okay, dokie. Yeah, I've been trying to keep up on putting the recordings on my YouTube account. I'm trying to put it on Twitch. For some reason, it didn't want to work today, so I'm going to retry it tomorrow and see if I can post the rest of the recordings on Twitch. I tried to do it YouTube and Twitch, but YouTube really takes a lot of the internet, so I had to do one at a time. I put it on when I got home. So, see, rook. So I'll try to get it. I'll try to get the recordings tomorrow up on Twitch. So if you want to see it, you can go to Chess Cruncher on YouTube has it. The recordings. Okay. Let me see here. What's the drawback to this? There's a pin. He walked right into a pin. My teacher told me, try your best not to walk into a pin, because he said that it only leads to disaster, because then that piece doesn't get moved. The piece doesn't get moved any further, and it could be attacked. So he says, do your best not to walk into a pin. Let's see, rook there. Yeah, that does look like it wins a piece, but I'm not sure. Potentially there's a knight to right there, check. Then we'd have to go up and bishop takes, pawn takes, and I'm not sure if we got enough compensation for that. Let's take a we'll take a look. Not to worry. Don't worry. We're gonna look. I'm thinking we need to take advantage of this pin here. So there's something we need to do to take advantage of that pin. I like rook h8, but I don't know if it's fast enough. He's going to try to play knight check. Let's see here. I know one of the imbalances is this pin, so we need to take a look at that. Can't play here. That'd be so losing. This pawn guards these infiltration points, so let's see here. Is there any way we can attack that knight any further? I really don't see anything but that idea. That is a good idea, rook to h8. Let's take an analysis check on that. H8, bishop e. Let's see what's the disadvantage, because I know what we have is a pin, so I'm trying to figure out if we could take advantage of that at all. Trying to see. He also is attacking here. Well, if we played bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, rook over, then if he plays there, we have a queen check over, check, but then the bishop guards this, the bishop guards that pawn. So we don't have anything really after that. Yeah, I don't like taking either. I don't want to play here either because that blocks our idea. Trying to see, I don't really see anything better than rook to h8. Yeah, because there is no, then after there. That point, yeah. Trying to see if there's anything else that we can do that does really anything for that disadvantage. No. I think that was just a waste of time. That's what that move was. Also walked into a pin, so it was a waste of time. Yeah, let's. I don't see anything else better than that. So let's see if we played king to f6 at that point. Yikesies, yikesies. I'm seeing that he could actually take here and then takes there and then rook to e6 would hold everything together because it's protected by the knight. So I don't think we can actually play that at this moment. We may have to do an intermezzo move. King G. Yeah, so that we can't do that. We either have there or there. Either those are the moves that are the only thing that holds the position together. Well, if we don't recap the bishop, I think it's even worse for us because if we go here, he plays bishop takes, we play rook takes. That actually, I believe, potentially would lead to mate. I guess we could play there. We can't. We're in check right now, so we have to do something. Let's see here. Here takes. Takes. Interesting. We do have. If he plays rook there, then we actually win. We win the knight. So, huh. I think potentially rook to f6 might actually be winning. Yeah, that does say that, doesn't it? So if we played here, bishop takes, takes, he can actually save the position with knight check there. Well, then we can actually take at that point. Huh. Let's see, king, g8, bishop takes. Yeah, knight c6 is killer after that. Okay, if we go f6, the knight really can't go there because we can actually take at that point. So king f6, bishop takes, rook takes, knight there. Then we have the intermezzo check. Then we win the piece. I believe we win actually the game at that point. But like what you said, I'm thinking that, not thinking, I'm saying that that's, let's see here, because here takes, rook takes. If knight moves to e6, we have queen takes, pawn check, and then we can actually win the. Oh, good. How you doing? I don't really see any. I don't really see any really good thing that comes out of that because he potentially has bishop check at that point. We could play there. Well, what's the, see, we have to think to ourselves, what's the best move sequence here? This puts us off to the side out of, we got to be careful though, because like what you're saying, if we play here, oops, get the mouse off. If we play there, it's got bishop takes, pawn takes, knight to e6, that attacks the queen. So we're a little slow to the punch. And actually at this point, if we move back, it's got bishop takes, rook takes. Boy, this is a sitch, isn't it? Okay, let's take a look at king e8. King e8. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Knight there. Check. He has two forking ideas though. Yay, yay, yay. Oi, oi, oi. One sec, I'll be right back. We gotta count. We gotta go through this one more time. So let's take a look here. I see what you're saying. That guards that, doesn't it? Interesting. See here? Yeah, I believe that's the only thing that holds the position together. That's funny. Okay, there, there. If we take here, kind of see what this potential mate. I kind of see if we play there, he plays here, we take. He's got checkmate there. Yeah, because this doesn't work. See there, there, there. He retreats back, and it's guarded at that point. So I'm thinking we do have to retreat back here. It's kind of forced so that we can actually take, and then we have this threat of that still. But remember, we got to be careful of. I guess we don't have to do that, do we? Let's see here. Takes. King takes. We actually can't take tonight. See here. So we can't play there. Here. There, there. Let's see, potentially there. And then we'd have to retreat. Yeah, I'm not sure if we get mated in that line now that I think about it. I think potentially we'd have to take. Let's give it a go. See if we take here, knight goes there, check. I think that's the only way to, but we have then check there. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I keep on rising. Yeah, that was good find there. That was really kind of a difficult one because you had to see all the lines that went with it. This move doesn't work here. I was thinking of that, but you have there, so that's that. Yeah, I think we win a, let's see here. Just trying to see if there's anything that we're missing. So here, there, back, takes. Huh. So we play queen takes queen first. Yeah. Bishop takes knight. And the king moves back. Yeah, I see that. I just wonder if that's the line that they want, though. Let's see if we play there. So he'll move. Trying to see if that, because I think we do win a we could win a rook, but I'm not sure if that's, see, because if we play here and he moves, we just retreat our bishop back. Yeah. I see what you guys are saying. We win a whole piece at that point, and there's no risk of anything. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. I'm in agreement with you on that. Yeah. Now that we looked at it, because that's the best move sequence. Because you're right, two pieces are hanging at that point. We don't want that to happen. We want to get the most for everything. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because then you can't get that knight. No longer is the knight usable. So, is it worth taking a rook that's doing nothing? No. So, like what Jeremy Stillman would say is, what good thing does that do to our position? Oh, great, we win a rook, so we're out material, but our knight's out of play, so big whoop-de-doo, right? Big, happy dance. No, that's not a happy dance. I think it's C, if I'm not mistaken, I believe C4 might be the line. Because this could actually be taken by the bishop, and the threat still is alive. Protected by the rook. If I go C4, it's protected by the rook and the knight. And if the bishop moves here, we can take it. But I see what you're saying. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. That does change the whole. That changes the whole scenario. Takes. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Then we take the rook. Bishop takes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that does open up the house, doesn't it? There. There. Bishop takes. Okay, yeah. You're right. That would close down. I see what you're saying now. This closes down this check along here. So if we played here, we played bishop takes, we have a check with the queen. And then we could actually take the bishop at that point. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and then in comes. Let's see. Here, here, there. And if it goes B, we take. Check. There, there, check. Knight takes. Actually, the king has to move at that point. Then potentially a pawn there. No, we win the queen at that point. What the heck am I talking about? That's devastating. Yeah, they're there. Queen check, we win there. That's just crushing. Yeah, you guys are right. This doesn't work. Because of, now that I think about it, because of bishop to c6. So that doesn't work. We'd basically have to play f3 at that point. F3 is the only thing that solidifies the position, because it's protected twice. It attacks the bishop. The bishop has to run, and I think we're good at that point. F3, because this does nothing but there. Well, we could check here, but I don't really see any real point. We don't get anything after that. It's really nothing. And we potentially always have this check too. Well, let me see. If he does intercept there, we do have takes. Then he has there, and I don't think we have anything at that point. Yeah. I think if we play F2, we also have the ability of going G2, which then has two protectorates guarding the pawn, so it does leave our queen more we see, guys, well, I do see what you're saying. This is puzzling here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We lose, also he can retreat back to c6 at that point. Do we want to just see, the whole thing is we're up a whole exchange, so do we just want to solidify our position and then play from a solidified game? Potentially. I think if we did play here back, we still have a check there. No, we don't have a check there, my bad. Maybe we do have a check here first. And then if he blocks with his queen, we can just take and we're up in exchange at that point. Huh. So that does that. I think potentially if we went f4, he does have J5, so potentially that might be his idea, undermining our structure. It also cuts off our checking potential too, so what do you guys think? Yeah, I think that's best. What do you guys think? Because this is too like flashy. When you get to be higher level, you start learning that solid positions are actually the pathway to go, because we could later on, even after here, we could potentially solidify our position even more with the king up. So I believe f3 is the strongest move, because I'm looking at queen check there, and then the king moves in. I'm not sure. If we played queen g4, he's got bishop f. I see what you're saying. But I don't know. See, we have to think, what is a solid position, because that's what the computer is going to analyze. A solid position. They're not really. I guess maybe we could win a pawn too, potentially. The only sitch is I don't prefer having that down there right now. So that's why I'm thinking that f3 is the idea. That solidifies every single thing. Attacks the bishop, and if the bishop moves, what do we have after f3 though? Do we have anything after f3? Is it just a one move idea? Yeah, that does take advantage of his weak point, doesn't it? So if we played here, he could play there. If we checked, he plays up here. I guess we could take. Okay, if he plays here, he has to either play there or there. Alright, yeah, that's what he has to do. So if we check here, if he plays here, we don't really have any more checks, but we do win a pawn. Is that worth the attack, though? Not sure. Well, then we do always have f5 too, at that, or f4 at that point. So that is true. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. We win a pawn, I believe, there. Let's see. After he moves, we can go f5. Do we get greedy? Do we get greedy and then do we become a pawn grubber? We can win a pawn here, then when he moves, we can play f4, and that actually holds everything together. Yeah, so we take here, and if he moves, we just go f4. Well, it's the only way to hold the position together. See, if we played here, and then he and then he moves, we don't have enough time to get back to guard this weak point here. So see, this is the threat right there. So if we take here, let's say he moves here to guard us from infiltrating in. F4 is the clincher that we hold our position together, and we totally own at that point. We do potentially have check, but I don't think that does anything. The queen can intercept. Well, then we do win a pawn, don't we? But then he has that there. Well, then we could push. Yikes, yikes. Too many options. Too many options. Too little time. So are we gonna do a pawn? Are we gonna be a pawn grubber and take it? Do we take it, guys? Do we take the thing and become a pawn to take the pawns? Let's give it a go. Come on, baby. That's funny. Now we gotta be careful. How do we defend that spot now? Do we go f3? And if bishop takes f3, excuse me, bishop takes f3. There is a check, and then we can retreat back. Yeah, but I don't think we get anything for that. Interesting. If we play here, bishop takes, rook takes. Nope, that queen covers the checking square there. So it doesn't work if we take and take. The queen would take back and it covers the checking square. So that idea doesn't win. Yep. You guys got any lines you want to go over? Because I gotta actually, we'll go over. Oh, you want to check? Let's take a look. It's a draw. Yep, perpetual would have occurred. And then you become Pac-Man. Much. So that move doesn't work. So any other moves you guys are thinking about? Any other moves? Oh, right. We were thinking about a check. What would happen if we checked, right? And it's a draw at that point. Then there, remember what you guys said about h5? Boom shakalaka, you're right. h5 is played. So any other ideas? You guys have any other ideas? Are you good? You're good? Okay, we'll see what this puzzle is, and if it's too complicated, I have to log for the night. So, we'll check to see if if this is straight, for us to do. We'll see, because I'll see if I can we'll do one more, and we'll do our best to be efficient time-wise with it. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, we can't take. That's a sneaky, because if we take here, queen comes in and bye-bye. We're checkmated, so we can't take there. Interesting. If we played check here, he's got bishop back there attacking our queen. So that doesn't work. Well, we can't take the knight because of there. And, well, I guess, let's see, there. Maybe that's the reason we can't take the knight. See, if we play here, he checks there. Comes over there. Potentially check here. Yeah, because we can't check here because the bishop can actually come back and block. See, there. And we lose our rook. So we'd have to actually go d2 at that point. I don't know, let me see. Here. There. No, maybe that. Is that. Can we actually do there? There. Check. Let's see if we take. Actually, my bad, sorry. I take there. Ugh, come on. Come on, arrows, work with me, work with me. So we'd actually have to go up. Let me see. Let's see if we actually have something. Let's see. Takes, check, up, check, up, check, over, check, C2, I think we'd have to go there at that point. Huh. Wow. Potentially, I think we can actually block with our rook. I think we might be able to block with our rook. Let's see. Okay, takes. Check. There. Check. There. Check. Over. Check. Over. Check. Up. Check. I think we win. I think we lose our rook eventually. I'm not sure if we lose our rook. The only thing I'm concerned about if we do rook d is there's a check with his knight. So here. I'm not sure it works out for us if we take the knight, but I'm not sure we have anything if we don't take the knight. Maybe we do check here. When the bishop intercepts, we just bring our queen over. But I don't think that's right either, because I think we lose some. I'm just not so sure if we should take. Maybe rook d1 is actually correct, because see if we go here. Yeah, I kind of like that idea because of here. And even if he grabs that, we have a check here. And if he goes back there, we checkmate him. Yeah, I like the rook d1 idea better. I think this is way too complicated. I don't like that. I like rook d1. Are you guys with me? Well, let me see. Rook d1. Check there. I don't know if that works now that I think about it, because there's a bishop, queen, and I don't think we have enough. So he'd have to actually play his knight there. But I'm not sure if it works though, because there, check, knight takes. The only thing I see after that is potential rook to d6, but I don't know if we get anything else after that. Because I think he could defend. Yikes. I truly believe, though, this might be too complicated. That might be way too complicated. Because I don't think that they would have us do all that. And I don't believe that actually wins either, so we'll give it a shot. Don't tell me. Let's see. It's okay. We'll take a look to see what we got on number 2. Okay. Well, with that, guys, it's okay. We'll pick up tomorrow on this, so don't worry. We'll pick up tomorrow. We did really good, guys. We got a lot of grain, so don't worry about it. We'll get it back up there. Yeah, it's okay. So gonna log for the night. Thank you all for coming on, and we'll get back onto puzzles next time. So guys, remember, keep studying chess, keep getting better, because we're gonna find this out. It's an interesting, that move potentially could have worked, but I'm not sure. We can always later on go back through as well when I have some more time on my hands and analyze it. So don't worry, it's all about learning, because that's the whole purpose of chess and puzzles. So we're going to get to where we want to be, so don't worry. And remember, we only go back and to learn, okay? Don't dwell on the past, just keep moving forward. And remember, it feels good when we get a plan right and we get to say, I love it when a plan comes together. So remember, guys, have a great rest of the night. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher. And remember, as Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, I say God bless. Okay, guys? So remember that. He's always there for you. Bye-bye.